everyone. Today's topic is going to be solving absolute value equations with the variable on both sides of the equal sign. So we're going to continue our topic on solving absolute value equations. So a few things you need to know when you have a variable on both sides of the equal sign. If there's a variable on both sides, then the solutions must be checked. That means you have to plug in your solutions to the original equation and verify if you have a true statement. So there's two possibilities here. You could either get a false statement or you could get a true statement after you simplify. If you get a false statement, then that solution is said to be extraneous and it is not a possible solution. Now, if you get a true statement, then that solution is okay. That is a solution to your problem and you're good to box it or write it down as your proper solution. As you're doing these, you'll notice that it's possible to have two solutions, or maybe you have one solution because the other solution is extraneous, or maybe both of your solutions are extraneous and therefore you have no solutions. Okay, so go ahead and take a moment to pause the video and copy this down, and then we'll get started on our examples. Okay, so here's example 1. The absolute value of x minus 4 equals x plus 10. My absolute value is isolated, so we can go ahead and write two equations. So we're going to write one equation where it's positive. So we're going to say x minus 4 equals x plus 10. So there's the positive equation. Or x minus 4 equals a negative, and we're going to open a parentheses and we're going to plug in x plus 10 in here. So here's one positive, and then the negative right here makes this expression negative. So now we go ahead and solve both of them. So we're going to add 4 to both sides here. That's going to eliminate, and we get x equals x plus 14. So now we need to subtract this x from both sides. So when we do that, both of the x's eliminate. So we're left with 0 equals 14, which is a false statement. So there is no solution for this part of the equation here. So now let's try the second equation and see if we get a solution. So we need to distribute this negative. So we're going to have x minus 4 equals, and when I distribute the negative, I get negative x minus 10. And now we need to solve as normal, so we're going to add 4 to both sides, eliminating the 4. We get x equals negative x minus 6, because negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. Now we're going to add x to both sides, eliminating this x. X plus x is going to be 2x, which equals negative 6. We divide by 2 on both sides, so we get x equals negative 3. Now, we have a solution, but we're not done. Remember, when we have a variable on both sides of an absolute value equation, we have to check our solutions. So we need to check this solution. So we're going to check this, and we're going to plug this back into the original. We're going to say the absolute value of negative 3 minus 4 equals negative 3 plus 10. Negative 3 minus 4 is going to be negative 7, so we have the absolute value of negative 7 equals negative 3 plus 10 is a positive 7. So now we have the absolute value of negative 7 equals 7. The absolute value of negative 7 is indeed 7, which equals 7, so this is true. So we get a true statement, so that means this is a solution. Okay, so here we have our second example. The absolute value of 2x minus 10 minus 2x equals x plus 25. My absolute value is not isolated, so I need to move this 2x to the other side. So we're going to add 2x to both sides, eliminating the 2x, and we get the absolute value of 2x minus 10 equals x plus 2x is 3x plus 25. So now I can make two equations. 2x minus 10 equals 3x plus 25, or 2x minus 10 equals a negative 3x plus 25. Okay, we put the negative to make sure that this entire expression is negative, and we put it in parentheses so we can distribute it. So now let's solve over here. We're going to add 10 to both sides here, eliminating the 10. We get 2x equals 3x plus 35. So now we need to subtract 3x from both sides, and we get a negative x equals 35. So now we're going to divide by -1 on both sides to get rid of this negative. And now we have x equals -35. So there's one solution, and we'll come back to it, okay? We need to check that. Let's check our other solution over here. So we're going to distribute this negative, and we're going to get 2x minus 10 equals a -3x minus 25. So now we can add 10 to both sides. That eliminates, and we get 2x equals -3x minus 15. So now we're going to add 3x to both sides. That eliminates. 2x plus 3x is going to be 5x, which equals -15. Now we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. That reduces, and we get x equals -3. So now we have two solutions that we need to check. So I'm going to start with this first one. I'm going to plug this back into our original statement. So that's going to be the absolute value of 2 times -35, because it's 2x, x is -35, minus 10, close the absolute value, minus 2 times -35 equals x plus 25, so -35 plus 25, okay? So now we simplify. 2 times -35 is going to be -70 minus 10. And then -2 times -35 is going to be a positive 70 equals -35 plus 25 is going to be -10. So now over here we have the absolute value of -70 minus 10. -70 minus 10 is -80, so we're going to have the absolute value of -80 plus 70 equals -10. So now the absolute value of -80 is just 80 plus 70 equals -10. 80 plus 70 is 150 equals -10. 150 does not equal -10. This is wrong. This is false. So since this is false, that means that this equation, right, this solution right here is extraneous. So this is not a solution. We can cross it off, okay? So that's not a solution, so now we need to check -3. So we're going to check -3. So let me put a line here so we can organize this. And we're going to plug -3 into our original equation. So we're going to say the absolute value of 2 times -3 minus 10, close the absolute value, minus 2x, x is going to be -3, equals x plus 25, so -3 plus 25. So now, working on the inside, 2 times -3, that's going to be the absolute value of -6, minus 10, close the absolute value. -2 times -3 is going to be a positive 6, equals -3 plus 25. -6 minus 10 is going to be a -16, so this is the absolute value of -16, plus 6 equals -3 plus 25 is 22. So now over here we have the absolute value of -16, which is just 16, plus 6 equals 22. 16 plus 6 is 22, which equals 22, which is correct. This is true. This is a true statement. So that means that x equals -3 is correct. We can box it. This is a true statement. So that is our solution. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on solving absolute value equations where the variable is on both sides. If you have any trouble or you have any questions regarding the material, send me a message on Schoology or you can send me a text. Have a great day.